Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay, good evening. Today is Monday, March 18th. It's about 6:35 p.m. This is the Town of Southborough Tricentennial Committee. First item on the agenda is a review of the town meeting presentation. And are you going to put that on the screen?
Yeah.
We have Jim, Patty, Andrew on Zoom. Steve and John are absent tonight. And Dawn and Jenny are here with Vanessa. So
She's not on screen, she's on audio.
Audio, okay.
So I will suggest, but be open to a different way to do it, but just start with each slide and comments. If none, we move on to the next one. This is slide number 1 of 7. Our first slide. Everybody good with that one?
Don, is this the latest one that was sent today by Jenny or prior? Because there's only 6 slides in the one she sent today. Don, did you hear that?
Yes, I did. I'm looking. I have
I have 7.
7.
I have 7.
Yeah, there's 7, Jim.
Okay.
And
apologies.
this was sent out, what, after 4?
I apologize. I was misreading.
4:10 p.m.
Never mind.
Are you with us with 7?
Yeah.
Okay,
I miscounted. Sorry.
so this is slide number 1. And then we moved on to slide number 2, which introduces the committee. There was a question about, is it veterans representative or veteran representative? We have the S there.
And would it be an apostrophe? Does anybody know?
With veterans, I don't think it is an apostrophe.
Okay,
We want to leave it with veterans.
I'm good with that.
I think that's the way we say it, spell it in the town report.
veterans representative.
Yeah.
Okay,
So the first slide, the second slide, we won't spend a whole lot of time on. And then move on to this one, which has a bit more meat on the bone. Certainly will not read this, but will comment probably on each bullet in a shorter fashion. So we got monthly meetings began in November, and this is our what, 5th meeting?
I think so.
So on Saturday, we'll report to the floor that we've had 6 meetings. Because we're gonna meet on Saturday morning. Well, we may. We will. Anyway. We've researched, the bulk of our work has been researching what the other towns' celebrations consisted of. Is this list of 125 plus? Is that still a good number?
Patty would probably be.
What does she have it on? Patty, can you hear us? I mean, Patty, can you hear us? She was having an audio issue.
Oh,
Oh,
Can you
Go
hear me
ahead.
now?
yes.
So you know what? This is really crazy. I have large screens on my desk
Yeah.
and I just connect it to my laptop. But it appears that if my laptop is not open, The audio
Oh.
doesn't work.
Oh, God.
It's totally weird. Okay, haven't had that problem before, but go ahead. Yes,
Okay, so the question was, is the number 125 plus still the best number we have?
yes,
Okay. And these organizations consist of public and private, right?
correct. It's like I've included all the town committees, the chairs of the town committees. I've included, you know, nonprofits in the town, like the community house, that kind of thing. I've included independent organizations like scouts, organizations through the senior center, like, the walking group or whatever, whoever I could get my hands on names and email addresses for.
Like Rotary Club, Knights of Columbus.
Yeah.
Was that list, did that list include the churches and the schools?
It included the schools as much as I could get. After I had sent that around, somebody gave me contacts for, I think it was Assabet and Algonquin. Andrew got me in touch with somebody, and I've added that. The private schools, Kathy has put me in touch with people, although Faye never got back to me, but I have an email address that I'm going to send to. I have heard from Rob at St. Mark's and the gentleman from New England Center for Children.
Churches?
Churches, let me check. I think,
I
I thought they were on the
saw
list,
some, yeah.
I mean, I'm happy to circulate the list one more time before we send this out. So like St. Mark's Church, I only have a general office at email address. St. Anne's, I have a name. I have all the sports teams, the library, Friends of the Library, Kinder Group, Housing Authority, Food Pantry, Cultural Arts Council, Lacrosse, St. Matthews. I have 2 names. Let's see, Friends of the Council on Aging. I do not have a contact for the Jesus Family Southborough Church, and they didn't respond to the email that I sent through their website. Knights of Columbus, L'Abri, I have the Lions Club, Dull Men's Club, Gardeners, the Golf Club, Green Technology. No, I don't have one for that. The Police, Fire, Village Society, Community House. And then I have also all of our reps. Kate Donahue, Jamie Aldridge, Jim McGovern, Elizabeth Warren, Ed Markey, and the governor, Maura Healey.
Okay, I could just, I think, I'm just anticipating that somebody's gonna look at that number 125 and say, do we have that many? And
I actually have 134 on here, but and I'm sure that there's people missing. I mean, I'm not perfect in this. I'm sure I've left people out, but that's for sending out the email.
can we change the number from 125 to 130 plus?
Sure, I don't care. Does that make a difference?
Yeah, because when they see the 30, it's gonna slowly filter into their brain later on warrant article.
Oh, the 30.
Yeah.
He wants.
Say we have 300 names.
Okay, I'm just
I love it.
anticipating.
Subliminal.
I'm anticipating somebody asking that, and of course, would there be a brief listing of the type of organizations, and if they wanted to see the whole list,
And I can bring a
Well-
printout of that.
we'll make it available on our website or something like
I
that.
think there's a C missing an announcement.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, it sure is.
Where's it?
Well, I think Patty wasn't loving that word.
Oh,
So I started to get rid of it and then I said, oh, let's just make the change
Okay.
in front of it. Yeah.
Sure.
So can I also make I think I had sent this to you separately, Jenny, on the second bullet. There needs to be a space after towns and before celebrations.
Thank you. Got it.
But down on the next one, wrote Tricentennial Celebration Announcement Letter.
Should we say introduction letter or? I mean, it was an announcement. What do you think, Patty? Because I forget which one that you crossed out.
Well, it was the spelling, but
Oh,
I like introduction or either is really fine.
Did it say wrote Tricentennial Celebration Announcement Letter distributed?
I don't think you have to go further than that.
Okay.
I'm not really, I don't
Well,
expect
should I
people to
say
be,
for, yeah, because we just said compiled growing list of 130 Southborough organizations to approach for involvement. Wrote, and do we say wrote and sent? Would this be going out before town meeting?
yes, I expect so.
Yeah.
So the word
did-
wrote then is redundant. It's a letter, somebody wrote it. So would we change that to say distributed?
Yeah.
Distributing. Work today, yeah. So wrote, distributed Tricentennial Celebration Announcement letter. Or what was the other
Sent
word?
out, I mean, email blasted.
I think distributed covers all manner of, in person, on the website, through
Okay.
email.
So distributed Tricentennial Celebration Announcement Letter.
Everybody okay with getting rid of the word wrote and
Yeah,
changing it to distributed? On to the next one. Create a town survey to capture suggestions, ideas, and volunteers.
I know this is crazy. Is there any way that you could just put the URL for the survey there?
Yeah, we could do like a bit.ly link just to save some space and add that
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, that
So-
would be cool.
Under the
Okay.
town survey,
Yeah,
Yeah, just in get, because I don't think people are gonna really be questioning these bullet points, but somebody might say, oh, I didn't get that. But we want them to know that it's open for response to everybody.
so Ginny, I'm gonna forward you that link right now.
okay. What I'll do is I will PDF this to everybody with the changes for final proofs.
It's gotta go tonight
For the moderator.
before we leave tonight,
Yep, I'll do it from here.
okay? Can you do
And
it
I
right
think
now?
if with these changes.
But
are so
we're not
small,
done yet.
I don't know that we have to run them by everybody again. I'm happy with whatever changes you incorporate.
Thank you. All right, we sent that. Did you send it to me? I got something from Kate Hi, Patty, that's great. I've made the update.
Oh, yeah, the link is in the email from Katie.
Okay, so you're not doing a bit.
I could, hang on.
That would be really helpful.
Okay, okay, I'm gonna stop sharing so I can get back into my laptop. Okay, hang on,
I just have a
let
very
me do
small
that.
area.
Right,
Well, I extended it.
you can keep going because.
So the next line says developed town tricentennial webpage with links to social media.
That's the one I had a concern about because we really haven't done that yet.
Maybe there's a committee page, but it doesn't have this updated information on it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so do we just strike the whole line, or do we
I would.
say,
Yes,
or working on tricentennial webpage with, so that they know that it's in the works? We're talking about it,
Yeah,
I think that's important because people live on these webpages. If they don't, if we don't mention it, they might think we're not doing it.
I think all you need to
Working.
do is change it from developed to developing, and that'll carry it.
okay, I changed it to working on, but do you want me to just go back to developing?
Whatever
Yeah.
you like.
Develop.
And then initiated sponsorship package. Who's doing that?
Well, we did an outline for one, which I sent over.
why don't you
As-
just say the same word, developing?
Yeah. Yeah,
That works.
I think so too. I just think it's an important thing to say, like, we are getting other money from other resources. Developing sponsorship package. Or. Do we want to say working on sponsorship? Complete sponsorship package?
No, they just said just developing sponsorship
Okay.
package
Developing trend.
with the same.
Okay, so other than me getting the.
not sure it's actually that much shorter,
Oh, really?
but let's see, I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Send this to the moderator, to the town clerk.
I think really both.
Moderator. Interested in me.
Yeah, yeah. So we could just copy.
And then to come down on for this.
What if we combined the second to the last and the third and the last? So
Developing tricentennial.
say developing town tricentennial webpage. Whatever you're gonna do with that, and sponsorship package. As a single bullet. I don't know if that helps you with space. They are kind of separate bullets.
Yeah, it kind of messes it up a little bit if I think it,
You got it to fit?
yeah, I got it to fit. I just. Yeah, I'm down on font size.
You could change suggestions to, well, isn't suggestions and ideas the same? Couldn't you just say capture ideas and volunteers? Or maybe, I don't know about capture, garner ideas and volunteers?
Garner works, saves a letter.
Yeah.
GARNER.
Yeah.
I mean, it fits perfectly with the URL.
Okay,
I just hope I got the URL right. Let me,
But you reduce the font size?
um,
The whole,
that's 32. I don't even think I have to. Nobody's gonna notice that's the rest are 32.
exactly,
Okay.
yeah.
okay,
It works, and it works over the little bank, so we're good.
move on to the next slide, guys. Shouldn't be anything, the word sample, is everyone's good with that?
Yep.
I took holiday house tour off and just put house tour.
Yeah.
There is a wreath on the door, but.
Don't you always have a wreath on your door?
Yeah, exactly. Let's just keep the roof. Okay, so we go with that.
Yeah, we go with that one. Go on to the next one. This would probably be that title 7, chapter 44 bullet or section would probably be news to most people because it was kind of news to us. So that would probably be one to give a little time for people to look at.
It is
Speak to.
53I.
Oh, not 531.
Yeah, on the,
Thank you.
in the general
do I do
laws, it looks,
So is that like a capital I looks like a 1? So it looks
Yeah.
like a 531. Okay.
I have that someplace here.
I took it right.
Or you
I
could
took
do-
the words
I
right
know,
off
from-
of that, but the only thing I changed. They have all the celebrations that you can have, and I just put 300th anniversary celebration.
What's this?
5-3 capital I,
Capital.
but this font,
yeah. It looks, it's very similar to a numeral. What if you put the capital I in parentheses?
looks like a 5-3. 5013C. 53I. The other thing is, let me see if I can change the font of just that letter. Like 5-3. And then just see if I can change that font.
Ginny, to your point about the title does allow for multiple celebrations, 200, 250, 300, and so on, when you read the text. Should we just say preceding an anniversary celebration?
Yes, it's not, you're right, it's not restricted to the 300.
Receiving a, perfect.
Or an.
Is the end correct where it says settlement of incorporation? Should it be or incorporation?
I took it right off of that language. Preceding an anniversary celebration of its settlement of incorporation. It doesn't sound good.
No,
That's the way it's written in the
but
general
That's the
laws,
way
I
it was
think.
written in the laws, yeah,
it sounds weird. Yeah.
it does.
You want to just say?
Actually, no, wait a
of
minute.
its
Section, I'm
incorporation?
looking at it right now in the general law, mass general laws, section 53I, settlement or incorporation celebrations, special fund.
Should I say cities, towns, and districts may appropriate money annually for up to 5 years preceding an anniversary celebration? What did you just say, Patty?
Well, the heading on that section in the mass general law says settlement or incorporation celebrations, not settlement of incorporation.
Oh, in the subheading there, I see that now. In the general law.
Okay,
All right, so it's or.
so just put settlement
Or do
Or
you need-
incorporation.
or incorporation.
Actually, some of the research that we've done, I think it was at least one in Rhode Island and another one out in Western Mass, where they were celebrating their settlement.
Not their incorporation.
Yeah, in 2023, one of those towns was doing their settlement. Any reason to celebrate?
So why don't we just say or?
Yeah, or.
Yep, it's done.
Up in the subheading, Ginny, can you change warrant should be spelled A-N-T?
Oh,
Oh, right.
yeah, good catch. Warrant.
That's like Portsmouth, New Hampshire that I blew.
The middle one is pretty much self-explaining.
I got rid of bans, so it's just deposits are required to secure venues far in advance of events. Money is needed to purchase commemorative,
Looks good the way it is.
okay, merchandise for fundraising as well as promotional materials.
So the next one, why 30,000? Commit ease. Should there be an apostrophe?
Yes.
And
Not committees or,
Actually, other towns' budgets. So it
that
should
would
be, towns should be S apostrophe, right?
Yes, apostrophe, yeah.
Committees should be apostrophe S, towns should be S apostrophe.
okay,
You good with that one?
Yep.
So let's start with the layout. So we have a chart. We should comment on, do we want a chart Do we want bullets on this slide? Do we want any other way to show the numbers, or are we all cool with the,
I think
the
it's
chart?
fine. It's fine.
I think it's fine too. But I
I
have
don't
a
think
few
people are
changes.
really gonna study the chart. I think they're gonna see that we evaluated a whole bunch of towns.
Do your homework.
We did, yeah, exactly.
And then, so the value that's on the right side, the right axis, that's dollar of town contribution per resident, is that it?
Correct.
Okay. Is there a way we can fit that in to explain that, or
Well, is it legend at the bottom? Is that clear now?
pull that up again? And I'm kind of, yes, yeah, perfect. All right.
But wait,
So that's just showing we're on the low end of average, right?
That's the idea.
Okay.
but what does that mean? Town funding 10%.
Well, I had to work the scale of the numbers that could, because Excel doesn't give me 3 axes, it only gives me 2.
Yeah.
Unless there's a trick I don't know. So in order to make the bar charts not go crazy, I had to show the town funding of 320,000, for example, as 32,000. So it's 10% of the funding just to get the bars to line up in about the right orientation. So each one of those town funding as plotted is 10% of the actual. 30,000 in funding shows up as 3,000.
But wasn't Ludlow was like 25 plus the 50 from the state grant?
Which one? Sorry.
Ludlow?
We can edit this right now if I've missed something, but happy to.
That's why, you're right, they did get a state grant, and I think, there was another town that got a
Actually,
grant
think of it. I left the state grant money out because we're talking about what does the town agree to fund for its citizens, not what money they might have got elsewhere. That's not,
Okay.
we can change that point of view, but that's why.
No, but I guess what I'm questioning is, so the $2 would actually be 20,000.
No, the $2 is $2 per resident. The the orange town funding or red, whatever it is, I'm a little colorblind. That you multiply by 10 to get the actual funding.
Oh,
So
I
you see where
see.
it says Dover is
Okay.
320, it's showing up as 32.
I get it. All right. All right. I was reading it wrong. Yep.
So the actual numbers are next to the town's name.
Right.
But the chart, you have to multiply by 10.
Okay.
So for example, Dover, New Hampshire, the town gave them 320,000. And they have, what's their population?
Let me look at the table for you.
I have that someplace.
So the population is on the left.
The
33
population is like 34,000.
33,416 is the population and it was 320,000. So it was $9.58 per resident.
Wow.
Which is why, by the way, I set the average by clipping off the 3 high ones, which are way out of, out of the norm, and the low one. So the 36,500 average is everything is kind of the mean of these numbers.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to show it, and we're not taking advantage of those big spenders. But we're showing people that there are towns out there, certainly much bigger than us, but that are spending more per person, far more per person.
So am I accurate with, I have 36.5 thousand is the average town allocation?
That's the average of Nottingham, New Hampshire, all the way over to Rutland.
Correct.
But you see how I have it up in blue? Average town allocation 36.5.
Yep.
Okay, and then underneath, I have average year-long event budget. Do you want that worded differently or?
Wait a minute.
Average,
So that average, Jim, that average of 36.5 only goes from Rutland on the left to Nottingham on the right.
That's correct. It's the bulk of
So-
the ones that are close.
Okay, so there's a really easy way to handle this. So instead of having those arrows to the left and right of average 36.5K,
Yeah,
could you put like a light screen of blue that encompasses just those bars all the way up to the top of the box for average?
you mean like make a rectangular area of the chart that shows that's kind of encompassing that?
Right, just so that when you're looking at, when you're saying that the average only encompasses this, that it's really pretty obvious to the eye by the fact that those are outlined with like a light blue screen, that it's only, that average is only encompassed by that. Because when you have the arrows on the left and right, it makes it seem like it goes all the way to the axes.
Sure. No, I can put a box in there to
Yeah.
highlight the ones that are included.
Well, I have a suggestion that might impact what you, or the way you would do that. I was noticing that Northfield, Massachusetts is not on here. And
I don't think we got any data for Northfield.
yeah, that's one of the first ones we got. I think that's why it didn't get carried along.
I might have missed it.
It was $81,980. So that's a bigger number. If we chopped out Newmarket and put in Northfield, it would bump that average up.
But probably would actually, I haven't been including, let's see. Yeah, I guess it's, yeah, because Rutland's in there, it would help bump it up a little bit. Northfield, Massachusetts was 80, what please?
81,980.
90. All right, I'll update to do that. There's no problem adding, more towns along that axis because the thing will automatically size to fit. I'm gonna be updating it anyway to fix the typo in Portsmouth. Optically, South Kingston's in there. It's a kind of an anomaly in the other towns in the sense that large population, low allocation. We could look the other way and not include it if you'd like to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that. I thought it was insane that they spent 340,000 on the event. In addition to what the town gave them, but
So we're gonna chop out South Kingston
That's what I'm suggesting, yeah.
and we're gonna add in, we're gonna
Northfield.
chop out. Are we gonna chop out Newmarket or leave it?
Can I just ask one question here? These numbers are showing, for past events, these numbers are showing the total allocation by the town. Like Ludlow said, they were hoping to get another 25,000 this year. But generally what we're seeing is total contribution by the town, right?
To date, yes.
So what happens when we go back to town meeting next year, perchance, and ask for more money? And they're going to say, why do you need more money? The average was only 36,000. We already gave you 30,000. Maybe you should include in that average Dover, Walpole, Portsmouth.
I'm,
I
Andrew, what do you
think
those are big numbers.
that we could offer to do that. Not including it in the printed version. But have that number. If we include this, if we include those towns, the average goes to. But I think, again, if we put in Northfield and take out Newmarket, the average may get up over 40 grand. And as far as asking after the first year of asking for funds, there's a long list of these towns that have asked for money over 3, 4, and even 5 years in Massachusetts, and longer, more years in.
So basically you're saying, let's get the average up higher for this first ask. So if we have to go
That's,
back,
well, that's my suggestion, is to include the high
Include-
numbers. So that, you know, that we're really not asking for that much money. And leaving the door open that if there's more that's needed next year.
Okay, let's try. I'm open to that, but are they gonna say, well, you found these, in your research, you listed these three very expensive celebrations, and you listed those. Did you ever find any ones where the number is zero, where the town didn't do anything? And like, for example,
No. We didn't.
Hanover hadn't even started a committee. So our research, can't lie, our research has found some towns that, trying to think who else I talked to, and they said, no, we haven't done anything yet.
Well, if they
That's-
haven't done anything, then they haven't been refused by the town. You can't include that in the discussion.
You know, one option could be to put the average of the entire field of towns up on Jenny's slide where she's got it in the white type on the red. And then we do the blue box like Patty suggested and kind of show the core town averages, you know, something lower. That would take the big number, you know, for the overall to be on the order of, and I can tell you what it is.
Can we do all that in the next few minutes?
I can tell you in just a second here. It would be 90,000 if you include it all. 90,000, 95, 950. So we could
you
put
include all those towns.
yeah, if you include all
average.
including the three high ones, you could have that number would be on the order of 90,950.
So you just don't want people to say, oh, is that your plan to come back in the next, 3 years? For 30,000 each year?
You know what? I'd be interested in hearing Andrew's thoughts on this. My thought is that you kind of need to leave the door open. Hopefully we don't need more money, but
Yeah, I think that we are kind of. I mean, our goal is to try to raise as much through fundraising. as possible.
absolutely.
So I think you gotta, this is a reasonable number to begin with, and actually it would be kind of probably too cheap to begin with a number lower than that, right? I think, the numbers that Jim showed, this was on the low side of average, and that Patty, if we find that there is a later reason to come back and ask for some more money, then I don't think we need to complicate this by thinking about that what if. The best plan is to go forward with this presentation and then get the private fundraising entity up and running, as quickly as possible, and then just have that kind of gather momentum.
That's fine.
And we have found towns that have done just that, Andrew, and they had money left over that they returned to the town.
Yeah.
Because they did so well with fundraising.
Yeah, the town meeting itself, the proceedings are going to be captured and recorded, right, Andrew?
Yeah, yes. It's
So what we could do, what we could have as a speaker's comment is that here's the chart. We've highlighted the average in the box in the middle at 36.5 or whatever the adjustment turns out to be with this. However, when you look at all these towns, including some of the ones that really went all out, the average was 90, and I'll give you the number, 90,000, whatever it is. So you can just in your speaker's comments, which gets captured in the record, mention that, oh, by the way, if you take the whole chart into account, it's a bigger number.
Yeah, that's good.
Not being aggressive here.
That's a talking point. What about the number that I have, 90 to 400K under average year-long event budget? And is that the terminology? Or should it be average spend? Average overall budget spend?
Average overall event spend, yeah, would make more sense, I think.
the point of it, the takeaway for me is there's just a huge range, right? And
That's where the word average might not be the right one here. It might be range of,
Okay, so,
sorry, Andrew, go ahead.
yeah,
Is that where you were going with that?
yes,
so. And what should we have there for, is 90 to 400 accurate, or?
Well, if you
We
leave
don't
out
have anybody
Portsmouth,
that has 400.
what we heard about Portsmouth was that they had 1.2 million overall spent on the event,
Yeah,
which is a big outlier from the average year, but everything else was up to, I think we said a little over 500 in the case of Dover.
Well,
And again, some of those were many years ago. And things have changed.
we still haven't got the number for Westboro.
no, I'm supposed to meet with them in a week. And I've asked her 3 times for the budget numbers and she didn't give them to me.
So what number do you want to put here? Range of overall event spend. Did we put up to 1.2? No.
I think
So,
we have is fine. I mean, I don't think people are going to be quizzing us on this.
I don't,
okay. And the box below that says achieved by fundraising, donations, and sponsorships. Is that? Explain it?
Should you
Should it be
include town
closer?
contribution, fundraising, donations, and sponsorships?
Range of overall event spend 90 to 400K.
Because the part of that money was the money from the town.
What you
Okay.
could say is town contribution augmented by those 3 things.
that sounds good.
Okay, I like that. Town contribution augmented by fundraising, donations, and sponsorships.
Jim, could you go back just to see what happens with the average? Just substitute the 8.5K for Newmarket and put in that 81.9 number. That, then your software will calculate a new average.
Yeah, I can do that while we're cooking here if you like.
Well, if you do it right now, then we can finish this slide.
Well, I still need to send over the chart update. It's going to take a little playing, but yeah, we can get the new number for that. So keep going and I'll work on it.
Okay, so if that's where we're at with this slide, which to me is the most important, then we just go to the next slide. And end with a happy message. Now-
That picture that Wilson that you sent me in black and white, it didn't.
So there's a
Oh.
different one we used in the town report that, it was showing wrong when I got here.
Do you have it?
Yes.
If you
Yeah.
send it to me,
Yeah.
I'll try.
There was a picture in this that we changed. It's the upper right one. And just added this one with all these people this afternoon. But my suggestion, and I would certainly like to get you guys' opinion, would be a picture of our former town moderator, John Wilson. There are pictures of him in his military uniform, but we already have that in the picture, second one. But there's pictures of him at the moderator's table. And my thinking is that he was here with us recently. And the people that attend the town meeting tend to be there year after year after year, so the vast majority of the people on Saturday will remember him. And I hope.
But Don, what does that have to do with the 300? I recognize your need, you're interested in recognizing him, but what does that have to do with the 300 anniversary.
Well, he's a town official. Was a town official. I mean, we have, okay, I appreciate that. Maybe we'll go in a different direction for a picture.
Well, that's just the one that's there now is just a Heritage Day picture of a.
It's a nice one from
Fun.
the parade.
Did you have one with Santa?
I have one with Santa. It's just a kinder group event, not a town event, so I just didn't think. I also made one change, and you guys who are right here, that I added to the banner the 300
Oh, sure.
on the happy birthday.
Mhm.
I thought it was a little empty.
Yeah,
Is that okay?
yeah, that's good.
Okay.
So are we good with that picture then with all those people?
I mean, I did find 2 other pictures of like the crowds voting at town meeting. I don't know if that's something that.
I think it needs to be more of a celebration.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it needs to be a
Yeah.
celebration.
I mean, everybody who's from Southborough and looks at that picture,
It's gonna know the pumpkins is Heritage Day.
right?
Yeah.
And then the one above it, you have all the Girl Scouts.
Yeah,
They're gonna know that's Heritage Day, and then that's the
the
parade.
parade, yeah.
So,
I think those are nice.
Okay. And that's it.
Right.
so all I have to do is put the new slide in and just make sure that everybody's comfortable. Is if that number is gonna change, the 36.5, is that number
Well,
gonna
Jim
change?
is updating his chart, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
I
coming
just
later,
think,
I'm on a Zoom.
I just
Probably,
think that Northfield is a Massachusetts
I'll-
town as opposed to.
I'll probably be
Newmarket.
done in a half hour.
And then, the number is much bigger. It's 10
What
times.
time? It's 8:30. I just don't know about traffic. It's just on Concord Street in Framingham. It's at the eye doctor.
Patty, you can mute.
Yeah, I muted her.
John, I'm looking for Northfield population, and I'm not seeing any statistics on their population in that government.
I can grab that from the Department of Revenue, and if you give me 1 second, Jim.
I thought it was 2,800 and change.
Population.
2,800. Yeah, it's a big geographic town, a lot of wide open places, but it's,
Allocated 81,000.
yeah, I actually
That's why it's so interesting.
I printed
love that.
their warrant.
What was their anniversary year?
They 1673. So this is their 350th. Last year was their 350th.
2023. Okay.
Yeah. But I actually printed their town warrant. So that,
I know RTH FIELD, Massachusetts, right?
Mhm.
Let me know what you get for population, because I need that for the operation.
yeah, 23, they appropriated 11,980, 22, 60,000, 21, 5,000, 20, 5,000. That's up to 81,980.
Okay.
Maybe they're they're practicing to take over the lead in money spent over Portsmouth when in another 50 years, when they hit 400.
I'm seeing a population of 3,032.
In, this is from the Department of Revenue. In 2022, they listed 2,872.
2872. I don't know if we want to include them in the chart. That's a $28.54 number per resident. Just from an optics point of
Is
view.
an anomaly, do you think?
It's an outlier for sure.
All right, leave it the way it is, 36.5, unless we want to
Yeah,
just
I'll
chop
get you
off
the-
Newmark.
I'm gonna drop off, South Kingston and I'll get you a new number, in just a moment on that. In fact, if you want, if this is all we have left to finish, I can work on it and stay on the line with you guys with Ginny, but maybe we don't need everybody to stay on if we're done for everything but this chart. Up to you.
See, it shouldn't.
Oh,
There was one item and it's not on the agenda, except I believe it's within the other business properly before the committee.
Yeah.
But let me take a look here. So we're all agreeing that unless something changes, Vanessa and I will post a meeting for the Tricentennial Committee for Saturday morning, the 23rd at 9:30 a.m. in room 130.
Where's that?
at Triton.
Oh,
But yeah, that's right.
So Andrew
and-
and I probably won't be there at 9:30. So you know,
Right. And I think the agenda will consist of one item, which would be final review of the town meeting presentation. And that would mean the review of me speaking to the 7 slides and having whoever attends our meeting at 9:30 critique my talking points. And then there may be another item, so if that's okay with you guys, we'll move on to the next item on our agenda tonight, which is other matters properly before the committee. And if that's okay, then I believe Patty has a piece of news that we can't deliberate on tonight, but if we think that it's appropriate, then we would add it to our agenda on Saturday as an indicator of our intent to pursue what Patty's going to talk about now.
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be, since the town meeting begins at 10. And there's actually gonna be presentations beginning before it. I don't think, well, I haven't heard what this is about, but,
It would be very quick.
okay.
I think what Don's talking about is that in conversation with Ludlow and then with Ginny about other towns, we feel that it is possibly important to establish a 501c3 separate from the money that comes from the town, but as a fund to accept donations, sponsorships, grants, etc. So in regard to that, I just took the liberty of talking to Kathy Cook about it, asking her opinion on whether she thinks that would be a good idea. And she did say yes, that it would give a cleaner look to the whole thing and the funding and how the money is spent in the end. The reason to maybe get this on there is because Kathy also volunteered to set this up for us at no cost other than the filing fees and to act as treasurer. And through what I know, it can take 2 to 3 months to establish the 501c3 and have it cleared through the state and the IRS. Kathy has said that she could actually work on this next week. So it would just basically be a vote to say yes, to establish a 501c3 and get her going on it. Then we have to set up a board for that 501c3.
So tonight, we have just heard on other matters properly before this committee for us to consider. We can't take any action on it because it wasn't on our agenda. But if those in attendance tonight feel that we want to talk about it and maybe even take a vote on Saturday, then we'll put it on the agenda. I'm fine with that because hopefully we'll have time and it's interesting enough for us to pursue. And unless we can find some reason not to, then maybe we will.
I talked to a lot of towns that also said it was cleaner when you go for grant money to have a 501c3. And there were a number of towns.
So it wouldn't
you-
mean separate accounting because the money that comes from the town, what we're asking for at town meeting would have to be in a different account and accounted for separately, the money that goes into the 501c3. But for example, if somebody, a business writes a fabulous donation check for $50,000, they could write it to Friends of Southborough 300, and then it would go to the 501c3 and there would be, nonprofit tax.
And none of this money would flow through town accounts. It would not be part of our municipal audit.
Correct.
It's entirely separate.
And there would be a
And-
board. And Patty, you mentioned something about somebody having the treasurer capability on the board.
Kathy Cook.
Kathy
herself.
actually volunteered to be treasurer and, would work with us on board people. She said she had a couple of ideas of people in, finance that may be interested to be involved. And essentially what the board would do is just yay or nay expenses on, when we come up with ideas for events and how the money should be spent. If it's coming out of that money, then it goes to the board and the board says yay or nay. And then the board, the whole thing would be dissolved in 2028.
Anyone opposed to putting this on the agenda for Saturday?
Not opposed. I'm not able to attend because I'll be at a funeral service, but I can voice support for doing it when the time comes.
I think that's going to negate our quorum.
I was just gonna say, what do we need for a quorum?
You need 4.
I can be there until 11.
Hopefully, our 9:30 meeting will be over way before that.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying I
So
can,
that would be
you can
1,
count on
2.
me.
Patty, you'll be there in person Saturday, right?
Yes,
Okay. so
hopefully.
that's- Yeah,
So
Yeah.
I know Steve said he was not around.
that day. Yeah.
And Andrew, you're not gonna be
Well,
there,
would the select board also meets
right?
before town meeting? So, it just depends how long. I think we're starting at 8:30 though, right, Andrew?
I think that sounds right.
Yeah, so that part could be done by then.
Well, yeah, we've done that before where we have to yank somebody from
We
another
float back and forth.
and you just walk down the hall, ready to take the vote. Yes, take the vote. Guy walks back down the hall.
Okay.
And John might be there, John Kendall.
Oh,
I don't remember what he said last time about the day of town meeting.
So if we don't have a quorum at 9:30 or 10 or 10, we can still launch without a quorum on the review of the presentation, which is just going through the slides on a laptop and having me speak to the slide.
I don't know that we can. I'm not sure we can,
Well,
because you're going to have 3 people from the same committee.
yeah, we won't be in session.
Open meeting law.
But we have 2
You're
people.
discussing the topics of the committee without a quorum.
Not really advising.
okay, what's the downfall if this doesn't happen?
You could call a meeting next week, or we could just do a Zoom meeting.
Oh, sure, that's always, I was anticipating being able to speak.
No, I mean, I'm saying even for Dawn's presentation run through, I'm not sure that we can actually do it with just 3 people.
You do it with one?
You could do it with 2.
Well, but if you have fewer than a quorum discussing it, then
If you have fewer than a quorum, you could be in violation of open meeting law
I agree
because
with
you're discussing the topic of the committee.
that. I don't see the problem, but you have less than a quorum.
But if John Kendall can be there that morning, then that, then you meet with a quorum. And Andrew.
Okay, I
if
could be wrong.
you know,
I could be
if-
wrong.
If the other select board meeting is finished, Andrew might be able to be there, but. That's not for certain.
Mhm.
So
Let me email John.
let's say we get a few people, less than a quorum at 9:30. And we just hang around. We got 3 people. And we hang around until Andrew can get out of the select board meeting. Then we would gavel ourselves into session. And I have to go through the slides. You can trust me. And we can also talk about the 501(c). And the reason I think it's a huge opportunity for us to speak to that. You got a room full of people that we could say, and we've voted to look into a 501(c). I think
Well,
that would give the people.
But that money is not going to be commingled, Dawn. I don't know that might be confusing.
It might be, but it might also be clear up. If people are saying, well, will the donations be blended into the same account as the 30,000?
Correct. Yes, that's true.
It works both ways, so I don't know.
So if this is gonna be public record that we're gonna discuss it on Saturday,
If we have a quorum.
if we have a quorum. So if somebody sees that and wants to attend and say that, I think it's a bad idea, that's giving them
It's still
enough
an open
time,
meeting, yeah.
because you've given them enough time.
Yeah, we would want to post tomorrow,
Got it.
just to take care of all our, logistics and details, because it's a busy week in the clerk's office.
Mhm.
Frantic, so we want to post as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
So we post a meeting with two agenda items. One is to review the slide presentation, and the other is to discuss and possibly take action on looking into and obtaining a 501(c). Those would be the 2 agenda items. That would be on the agenda. We show up, whoever shows up. If we have a quorum, that's what we discuss. If we don't have a quorum, then we don't meet.
Sounds good.
Okay.
So we're back to the slide with the money. If there's nothing else,
I just completed it. I can drop it in an email within about a minute. The new number, by the way, Jenny, is 37,400 as the average.
Thank you. I am going to, as soon as he gets it to me and I pop it in, I'm gonna PDF it and send it to everybody prior to the end of the meeting, if that's okay. Oh, you guys don't have.
I can send it to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can resend the presentation. I'll send this chart to everybody, just as a point of reference.
Well, as soon as you send it to me, I will pop it in and then send the entire presentation
Terrific.
back out.
Okay,
All right, then I'll send it just to you, Jenny.
But we already voted on this last week. We don't need to approve this or anything, right?
I was just thinking about that, and what we've been doing, I guess, is fine tuning it. We talked about on average, we didn't know what it would be, but we talked about it. We talked about the names of the towns, the amounts, so on. So you're probably right, Patty.
Do you think we need to vote on it being accepted as amended?
doesn't hurt.
Make the motion.
I move that we accept the presentation as will be amended by Jim and Ginny.
Second,
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, Morris, yes?
Martin's yes.
Burns Fiore, yes.
Plaschke, yes.
Bennington, yes.
Andrew, at the last meeting, you expressed an opinion relative to our success. You still feel that same way?
Yes.
The one question I had was, does the committee want to have a handout, or are we just going with you're making the presentation?
Uh,
Good question. And also, Pat, how do you want this? Do you want it as a PowerPoint or just a PDF?
A PDF is fine, Jim. Because I think you had talked a little bit about taking the letter and making that your handout, so I wanted to follow up on that.
So how many would you print?
Probably 100 or 150, and we could do that one at the town hall, because it would just be a 1 page back to back.
What's on the other side?
It's just the continuation of the letter. I mean, this is not a good version of it because it's from Outlook, so we would clean it up. But it probably would be 1 page.
Yeah, it has
back.
to be 1 page with all on one side of one sheet.
Right,
That's the way we designed.
right.
Yes, it'll have our,
Yeah, that's true.
it'll have our.
Vanessa,
letters.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
want me to send you a PDF with the image in it, or do you want to use your original Word file?
I think I can, why don't you send it just to be safe, Patty?
Yep, okay.
In case we needed it, but I think we can just take the Word file.
We can probably get it down to 1 page.
Yeah, so,
It has to be 1 page. That's what we agreed to, and it shows the letterhead at the top, goes all the way down to the signature at the bottom. 1 page.
so is that the intent, to make that your handout?
I think so.
Okay,
So I just sent out the new presentation. If anybody has the opportunity to check it for typos tonight,
oh, here it is.
Donna, you ready to, for a motion to adjourn?
Any one typo? Sorry.
where?
On the why the Warren article.
Oh.
Left-hand side preceding an anniversary celebration, I think.
It's the one.
Andrew, I think we're very close to all of us seeing the latest version.
All right, say that again.
So
It's where?
preceding an anniversary celebration.
Proceeding.
I think that's correct. Patty can
Okay.
for sure.
Size of the chart, okay?
Looks
I
exactly
have-
what I sent you.
One question on the chart. I'm not sure who worked on this community, but is that supposed to be Nottingham, New Hampshire? I couldn't find a website for a Nottington, New Hampshire.
I
Well,
just
what's on
said to
that-
you, I've never heard of
which-
Nottington.
Must be Nottingham. It's a really,
It's just before Newmarket on the chart, Jim.
Right, right.
I've heard of Nottingham.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a small, very small town that was, this shows us 5,300.
So I think that was meant to be Nottingham.
Yes.
Okay. You want to make that
Okay, thanks, Andrew.
change? I'll,
Is it Nottingham?
Yes.
That's my mistake then, sorry. I can fix it, yeah. But short of that, if you want to, the rest of the groups want to just,
I'll just keep.
Mhm,
look this
yeah.
over.
Oh, we took it back.
I took it off because. Let me know when you send it, Jim.
I will.
So we already voted on that. We don't really need to wait for it, right?
Right.
Well, if you guys want to adjourn, then whoever wants to stick around, it's less than 4 people.
So Patty, I didn't get the blast, but Vanessa said she did.
You know what? I sent it, I don't know whether it was because I was sending to everybody all at once and MailChimp rejected me because I have, just the free account. I don't know. I sent it just to Jim. He received it, but there seems to be a couple of issues with the responsive layouts. So I need to go back in and check that on the different responsive apps of, I think he said it was iPad. It was coming in a little screwed up. So I'll do that again, and then I'll probably just send it to everybody individually so that it doesn't get stuck like it did.
Oh, thank you.
Jim, do you have the it is Nottingham. Do you have that population? I got,
What I'm showing is for population, you can double check here. I'm showing 5,374.
okay, I got 5,229, close enough.
That's close for the purpose of the.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, not yet. So what we're waiting on is the new chart to arrive,
Nottingham.
Nottingham chart.
Good
Graph.
catch on that, because I'm like, wait.
I've got the changes coming in email.
Thank you.
Jenny, you should have it. Sorry about the typos, folks.
Here it is. Okay. Anything else anybody see that?
Oh, good.
Okay.
So I'm anticipating perhaps questions or people raising their hands and going to the mic. And in all, good intentions, starting to talk about events. Have you thought about a turtle race, or have you thought about, hang
Well, to
gliding?
fill out the survey, we'd be happy to hear from them.
See, we really want to
But no,
talk.
I'm just talking about the, if I would try to say to the people that may be asking those questions that there's plenty of time for us to spend on events. The main purpose of us being here today is to address the request for the 30,000. Try to not get bogged down into events or. I mean, we do have a slide that talks about those, a couple slides.
Tell them to fill out the survey.
What she said.
Yeah, I think we're really encouraging, the more information we get filled out, the more, ideas we get, the better the celebration's gonna be.
And our focus for being there with the warrant article includes that, but the main focus is we want to prove the money.
That looks great, Jimmy, the updated version.
Thank you. Thanks, Jim.
Okay,
Teamwork. Anything else? Questions, comments?
Oh, good.
good.
Entertain a motion to adjourn then.
So moved.
Seconded.
Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, Morris, yes?
Martin's, yes.
Burns Fury, yes.
Plaschke, yes.
Bennington, yes.
See you all,
Thank you, everyone. So 9:30,